Greetings, fellow deserters. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Vault Builders. Episode 22, Making Room for More Allies. At the start of the stream, I am going to be sending Crimson off to a vault, because the only vault that we currently know the location of is only up for 3 more days. And she's going to need to get there and to find the location of another vault before it expires. Expires is the wrong term. Before, essentially, the Empire finds it. But I do want to offer you guys the ability to vote on what else I should work on, because that only really ties up Crimson, and Crimson alone. So here's your choices. We can focus on Vault Defense. So one of the things to do about Vault Defense is to physically build the improved Vault tiles. Obtaining plasteel, uranium, and devil strand, we're able to make invulnerable, impossible to damage vault tiles. So improving the vault defense would be basically building a vault that is impregnable. We can also focus on vault improvement. So number 2, vault improvement would be more bedrooms, and then other facilities that we're currently lacking in this area, because the vault is not complete, right? It doesn't have a kitchen. It doesn't have a dining room. It doesn't have a lab. It doesn't have a whole bunch of things. So there's a whole bunch of things that we could do to make it better. We could focus on gene tailoring. Gene tailoring would be to get as many people through the gene tailoring process as possible. We could also focus on aiding the deserters. So we have done 2 assassinations for the deserters, but there's a lot more assassinations to do. And that's another thing that we could focus on. We could improve our weapons and armor. A lot of their weapons and armor are like normal-ish quality, and they could definitely be improved because normal quality is not very high. We could also focus on finding tech prints and tech in Ancient Dangers. Basically, Ancient Danger hop to find tech like cataphract armor or some of the really good bionics. Or viewer suggestions left up to you. So feel free to vote to your heart's content. And Scorpio, thank you for the gifted subs. Let's go ahead and actually use the books in the research room. That would be smart. I'll put 1 more minute on the poll for this poll up there. And Crimson is going to do a little bit of rest before getting deployed back out. Oh, I crashed transport pod. Well, isn't that terrible for you? Hey, Moxie, you want to be a little bit happier, I guess? She is an outlaw. She's from the outlaw faction. And she's gone. Oh, is there someone else to cremate? I guess there is. I didn't know that. That was cold? Well, you know, we got to keep our existence hidden. I guess I could have shoved her in the biobattery bank, but one might argue that that's even more evil. I actually don't even think I need to argue that. I think it's pretty obvious. What did I just see? Oh, right. Dagonite is still outlaw doctrine. Right. I forgot about that. We'll have the ability to do a conversion ritual in 3 days. Apparently, her injuries... There we go. I use Seppo's ability to instant heal Crimson. And... let's go ahead and send her out. Crimson with all the horses. We'll take packaged survival meals, medicine, insect jelly, and beer. and she's on her way. So she's out to get to another vault before it gets disappeared. A supply depot raid. Protected by 4 cataphracts, a champion, a Jassari, 4 troopers, and they are potentially offering us a lot of intel. That is a lot of intel. I'll consider it. We have 3 days to vote. And it looks like you guys want me to focus on vault improvement. Okay, sounds good. I'm already somewhat doing that. So what I'd like to do is to start digging out some additional bedrooms. I think I'm going to create a hallway here. Or actually, because this is already smoothed out, maybe we'll have it be shared. So the bedrooms we've had so far is 5x6s. Which are rather large and luxurious. And I'm going to do 2 new bedrooms. Go to a vault and improve the base. And this will be for Dagonite and anyone else that subsequently joins. Because Dagonite doesn't actually have a permanent bedroom yet. Given the dimensions, I might want to have it match the dimensions of... well, that doesn't really work either. Let's go to plan. I think it would be safe to say that we're not likely to have need of more bedrooms than this. And then this can be like a kitchen dining room of sorts. I could even dig it like that. And then this will be the dimensions of our base. So what are we missing? We sort of have this workshop-y thing here. We don't have a hospital, but that could go here, potentially. Hospital research room. One of the reasons why I've been keeping the research outside up until now is if it's super cold, our research speed will drop considerably, but that's far less of a concern now that we have a lot of the essential research already researched. So this could potentially be the hospital, and research room. This could be the dining room. We've been doing NPM, so if this is the dining room, we could just have an NPM dining room, and then bedrooms. Am I missing anything? I don't think so, because we already have the ritual room. So I think this would be good. I think this works. I wish there was a slightly more clear path through here instead of this winding. I could probably make it more straight. Moving the genome macrothermometer somewhere else so it doesn't block the path. Plus, Mad Maxi doesn't have a bed either, so I could put the geo macrothermometer here and that will fix a lot of the pathing issues. Yeah, okay. That'll work. Oh, look at that pew. Nice. Alright, so Crimson, you should be running up the horses. There we go. And you are headed to a vault. Fantastic. Alright, so she'll be here in about a day. The other thing I'm going to need to do is make sure to have vents galore. Because it's going to be really important that we properly vent the area. So that we keep the bugs at bay. Because it's not so fun to have your nice secret vault trashed by insects. Okay. Rod, is there any work for you to do? One of the things I was considering doing for Rod, because Rod, for reference, is eagle-eyed, meaning double range on shooting, but doesn't have very good shooting skill. So let's actually remove everyone from hunting priority. And then I would like to make Rod a really short-range crummy weapon, which I don't have the research for at the moment, it doesn't seem. I would want like an auto pistol. So I'm going to continue researching blowback operation to get Rod a auto pistol. Because auto pistol will be a pretty decent weapon to use for training, as long as we're shooting it at enemies that don't have a revenge, like a revenge chance. Will there be enough room for recreation? I think so. I hope so. I could always make it larger. I'm trying to have it be somewhat rectangular so that I can actually build the vault, but if I have to go out this way, that's fine. Like, potentially, we could have a situation where we have bedrooms here, like this, and then this is going to be the rec dining room. Obviously, it's going to be like, you know, pillars, columns to keep it from not crushing us to death. But there's obviously room for potential expansion if we need it. Oh, I have been forcing her to cremate this whole time. Go eat, go sleep. My bad. Yes, there is room for recreation over here potentially as well. I was planning on having this be a hospital. Alright, so blowback operation, wow, that was fast, is already done. And let's go ahead and get auto pistol done. Make an auto pistol. Who is the worst smith? Fun size Killjoy? So I'm going to make this with fun size Killjoy. The reason being, if it is a terrible auto pistol, oh, there's a minimum crafting skill of 4. Okay, does someone have a 4? If it's a terrible auto pistol, like an absolutely atrocious quality auto pistol, he'll miss a lot and spend a lot more time shooting targets. Because I want to be shooting targets, I don't want to be hitting targets. Sadly, there is not anyone that has a crafting skill of 4. What about a revolver? What is that? Maybe we'll do a revolver. Although the only word that have the revolver, what is its range? I think its range is 26. I want something with extremely short range that is also garbage, like in terms of damage. Machine pistol has a range of 20. That's a little bit worse. I could do a pump shotgun. I wonder if you know, I've never tried it. Forcing a hunter to use like an EMP weapon or a smoke launcher or something. I don't think it would actually work. I don't think they hunt with that. Pump shotguns, minimum crafting skill is 5. That would be short range. Auto pistol is... I still might go with the auto... Well, auto pistol's range is 26. I'll go with the pump. Pistol grip pump. And unfortunately, it's going to have to be made by Sapo. Because, Funside doesn't have the skill for it. I could also do a bow, but it's the shooting speed that I'm more concerned about. You know, maybe I'll do a really crummy bow. That would work. I've overthought this, but a really atrociously terrible bow is going to be just fine. So minimum craft skill of 2. Let's make Rod make it. Rod isn't even doing anything right now, so Rod, you get to make a bow. And Red, thank you for the resub. It is an awful bow, so it is exactly as bad as I was hoping it would be. And now, Rod, you can go shoot guinea pigs. Small targets are going to be less of a burden on our stockpile of meat and leather. So and they're also harder to hit. So just shoot at guinea pigs all day long. And that is your job now. I've been working on phasing out the regular wall lamps in lieu of the ancient ones. The ancient ones will not turn off during EMP and solar flare events. So I'll keep replacing the regular with ancients. I don't even know if I have regular lights anywhere at this point. Oh, that's ancient too. Yeah, maybe only the ones in this tunnel are regulars. And we'll phase them out sooner or later. You still want to see a vault properly surrounded by vault walls? Yeah, when it gets voted on. It is a massive undertaking in terms of like resources, but I'm not necessarily against it. The easiest way to go about that, of course, would be just to make sure that we have like a panic room. A room for us, for the siblings at least, to flee to in the case of imminent danger. That'd be like the lowest bar to meet. And not an unreasonable project to undertake either. I wouldn't want to be like a 1x1, but maybe like a very small room with like a pod launcher or something like that. Although one might argue that a pod launcher makes it fundamentally vulnerable to air attacks. Well, even with your short bow, your range is absurd. I should probably... For him to level up even faster, I would want like a learning assistant at some point, but I don't have the tech for that yet. The tech prints, that is. Yeah, go Rod. Just keep shooting. Seppo's still working on his psychot addiction. I had done improper drug scheduling, and that was on me. Question for you all. What to research next? So, some choices. Mortars. If you want me to shell people, maybe that interests you. We could also consider... music. Just because it's a new recreation type. Let's also include gas op. And gun turrets. Both of them are not unreasonable. Cheers, by the way. Deep drilling. One of the advantages of deep drilling is ground pen scanning will help to map out the vault a little bit better. For whatever that's worth. We could also work towards drug production. And I think what I'm going to do is just pull you on these subset options, and then I'll expand that list later on. That's going to be good for now. I've also been filling in the gaps here. Filling in the overhead mountain, but I did want to remove all the flooring first. Alright, so let's see. Onyx Tro. Efficient builder. Cold intolerance. Efficient builder with a building skill of 3 that doesn't do dumb labor or crafting. Yeah, bye. Alright, before Crimson goes into this facility, let's take the bedroll, beer, and meals. And start hacking our way in. All right, seems like I can call this a little early. Deep drilling is going to be useful. So I'm using a mod that Cathanon made, which allows me to see the overhead mountain if I have a ground pen scanner. Which would reveal where the overhead mountain and not overhead mountain is in this. Because there might be a case where there's an isolated area of non-overhead mountain that we can like utilize for telescopes or pods or something like that. Cool. And I'll start writing up the next pole. So I don't think the Jan gear is any different than the recon gear. Would it help to increase skill if I remove Rod's gun link? Maybe. Because that is improving shooting accuracy. I'm just, the issue is I'm never going to remember to put it back on. So like, I'm very prone to human error if I do it that way. Which is my hesitation, essentially. Okay, it looks like we research because of Prof K at an obscene rate. So, like, I have to put the pull bag up. I might not even pull on this because Prof K is racing through the tech tree. All right, here we are in a new facility. And we now have a... Oh, go on. We now have a place to potentially sleep. And access to more meals. That could work. What I could end up doing is something like this, where we put a nutrient paste dispenser here and have like food, or put it here. It doesn't need to be in its own area though, but I don't want it to make the room ugly. I don't know. I don't know, man. I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and dig for all the bedrooms. Over-engineer it. And then if we need to change the layout, we can, but yeah, I think this is fine. We'll just keep digging that out. Alright, you're going to need to go to sleep pretty soon, so I'll set up a bedroll in this room. It's dull, but at least it's inside. And it seems like you guys want gas up next, and I don't think I'm going to even pull on this, because Prof K goes through the tech tree like faster than what is reasonable to keep putting the pulls up. Oh, that's going to be bedroom. Okay, collapsed rocks, a bathroom, a bathroom. Before you go to sleep, uninstall these two other beds, so this barracks becomes a bedroom. And there you go. Yeah, a little bit happier. Okay, so Crimson is working on trying to hack the vault for vault location. And, we are working on expanding our vault again. So that we have more bedrooms and room for more members. Ah, Rod's leveled up once. It's so funny to watch him with a bow. Just like, pew pew! Like, man, you suck at this, but All right. So you guys want gas up? Got it. Crimson should be up pretty soon, and I'll have her look for the comms. The training bow. Yep. I mean, to be fair, Rod's range, even with this training bow, is pretty frightening. Rod's range with this training bow is 46, which is like sniper level of accurate range, which is absurd. Truly absurd. All right, up and at 'em. You want a little recreation? Have a little beer. I'll let you meditate a minute. And let's start hacking. Cheers. Another thing that would be nice to have is like a proper place for the batteries. Because this is like our crafting room, but like, oof. I'll call it like it is. It's a terrible crafting room. It's honestly straight terrible. So I wouldn't mind like improving the crafting room at some point so it's not hideous. Also nesting the power in the walls so that the power can't get cut due to the installation of batteries would be nice as well, because that's like a potential base vulnerability. So at some point I'm sure we'll end up doing a project akin to that. But now we have some more batteries installed that haven't blocked anything, and that should allow us to charge up the batteries a little bit better. Gas op's done. All right, let's jump to Grand Pen Scanner so that we can see if there's any non-overhead mountain in the mountain so that we can set up an array for transport pods or something like that. From a role-playing standpoint, I will never be transport podding to one of these vaults. Let's assume that the Empire can detect with like radar when we go into orbit, which is why we're using horses. I in fact don't even think that's all that reasonable of a thing to adhere to. All right, some of these rooms looking well. I'm not gonna say they're nice yet, but they're getting there. So we'll smooth this out, and then Mad Max and Dagonite will have actual bedrooms for themselves. So, I forgot to pull on the quest. Should I accept the Depot raid quest? Yes or no? So what intel does for us? I'm sure you were going to ask that. The deserters, we can use intel to buy stuff. So, you know how I mentioned it would be really nice to have a learning assistant? We could buy one with the intel. Or we could buy Monosword, or we could buy tech prints, you know? They're basically things that the deserters can smuggle to us. We could even do a psychic amplifier to raise Crimson's psycasting ability. Actually, I think Crimson's a 6. Are you a 6? Yeah, you're a 6. But, yeah, and just to answer, plus addition on top of that, the intel will allow us to do services, like buy quests for rewards. So the intel for this control station raid costs 8 intel, or costs 3 intel, we can get 8. So there's other ways to spend intel that way, or plots. So we've already assassinated a Kindless Knight and a Petty Praetor, but we can use intel to make the plots against Empire targets easier, because 12 intel is a hard target, 18 intel is an easier target, critical intel is a easiest target. And it looks like you guys want to accept the raid. So what reward? 1, 2, 3. And here are the rewards. 20 in intel and visibility increased by 9. A meditation throne, a charge thumper, and visibility decrease. In terms of my visibility, if you're wondering, let's contact the deserters. Current visibility is hidden. It's 11. It's 11 out of 100. If you reach 11, you're dead. But we want our visibility to be very, very low for the safety and protection of the siblings. That's like more or less one of the goals. Looks like reward number 1 is going to be what we go with. So it raises our visibility, but then we can use the intel that we have to scrub some of our visibility. So it doesn't have to only go up. All right, I think it's pretty safe to say that that's what you guys want. So we have 5 days to potentially go to the supply drop raid. And it is not super close. It's definitely going to be one of those things where Crimson is going to need to get him home with all the horses. Because people aren't going to want to walk there. That's going to suck. Chat once again, trying to kill the playthrough? No, not at all. What's the name of the settlement? Our settlement is the Forsyth Vault. Because it was founded by the 3 Forsyth siblings. Oh, we found the hospital. We don't need to hack that door open, obviously. And it's time for another Sleepy Sleeps. Sapo is almost 70% over Psychite. Is there something I can do for you? Yeah, let's have you take... No, not wake up. Take the insect jelly. That should help a little bit with your mood. Although, not much, because you are mood-tastical. Oh, speaking of moody drugs, smoke leaf from space. Nothing like some space weed. Am I playing an X game? Apparently I am. Is there a ritual to improve the mood? We can do a conversion ritual. Although with that said, it's probably going to be best to do the conversion ritual when Crimson's home. Alright, ground pen scanning is now done. Let's go with gun turrets. And I do want to set up a ground pen scanner. I'll set it up here and move this wall over. Terrifying grizzly bears. Persona Core for 20 bears. Wait, helping an acolyte to the Harmony? No, thank you. We're not going to help the enemy. I don't even care if there's a reward. Oh, and then we have a psychic ship. Guarded by a big honkin' helping us Scythers. Well, here's the thing. Scythers come in... Well, okay. Once Crimson's home, she can, like, eyeball blast the Scythers. And then lead them to our point defense, and they would die real quick. So I'm not too worried about that, but we do need Crimson home. So yet one more thing to get her home for. Exotic goods trader. All right, let's see here. That's a lot of advanced components. What the hell am I doing with all that? Power Claw, Venom Talon, Sterilizing Stomach, don't need those. Psychic Insanity Lance, sounds good to me. I would love to start getting tech prints, but, oh, Animal Pulsar is definitely going to deal a lot of damage to those Scythers if I use it at the right time. So, although I didn't end up selling any of my advanced components, maybe I'll actually sell some. Starting to value silver, because we have none. Because I can always smith up some more. Alright. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, we have an animal pulsar. And there's a lot of wildlife on this map tile. So, how to do that? I think we would need Crimson's invisibility skill in order to do it properly. Yeah. So this is, again, the animal pulsars could deal grievous damage to the Scythers if I pulse all the animals on the map tile and force them to go fight the Scythers. The issue is it's, you know, chicken and the egg. I need Crimson Home for that as well. Rob with the... So, the Scythers move quickly, so, like, sniping them doesn't really work all that well, because you have to outrun them. And due to their run speed, you know, you're going to have some issues, I think. Even if Rod has, like, bionic legs. You are breaking advanced components. Great. The last of the advanced components that I currently own. Okay, let's say no to that. Now you are breaking a nanite pump. That's fine. Oh, yeah, because I'll take one from the new facility. It's annoying, but, you know, it's not a big loss. Okay, fun-sized, thank you for hoovering up the advanced components that I had. And now I know that I need one more pump brought home from this facility to compensate for Sapo's destruction. Gun turrets are done. Next up, let's go with precision rifling. Another exotic goods trader. What is going on? I think it's... I don't even know which one's new and which one's old. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Vault Builders, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in the next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow Vault Builders.